Hi, everybody. My name is Aditya Narayan. I'm a student from Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore, and I've been a Marrow Plan C user since December 2018. For the past 2 years, Marrow has been my only source of preparation. So let me tell you a story about how exactly all this unfolded and what exactly happened. So my preparation started 1 year back. 1 year back, I was just starting my internship, and when I just started my internship, I started preparing slowly. So the first thing I did was I started using Marrow notes. So now this is a very controversial topic, and everyone keeps asking questions, and no one is really sure what to do. So what I really suggest is that you should follow something that is really individual for yourself. Like for me, I'll give you an example. Like for me, I find it very difficult to write down when someone is talking because I'm a very slow writer. Plus my handwriting is not very good. So I find it very difficult to read if someone has actually written anything, or if I've only written anything, I find it difficult to read it. So for me, Marrow Notes that way has been an absolute blessing. So I started using Marrow Notes and started preparing during my internship. I used to watch a very few videos during my internship and read a few as much as I could, like maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. I used to read and watch notes. So maybe towards the end of internship, I'd done maybe just about 30% of the total required syllabus and a very, very few modules of question bank. So when I appeared for NEET 2020, it came as an absolute shock to me because I realized I just wasn't able to, even though I had some idea regarding the theory, the questions I just was not able to solve them. So that's when I realized that my primary weakness is question bank, and that is something like I want everybody to realize that doing questions and how important it is and how like that should define your entire basis of your preparations questions. So just after NEET and when my internship got over in March, I had to start afresh and decide what's going to happen. So I started preparing for the mid-year exams since March, and so my strategy since March was always doing theory and question bank side by side. So what I used to do is daily I used to read my Marrow notes, and I used to watch videos for the questions. I found it really difficult to understand from the notes. For example, there can be topics which are purely conceptual, like vocal cord palsies or a lot of these astigmatism, and all a lot of these topics can't be understood from just reading. So I used to watch videos for that. And so at the end of it, I would cover maybe per subject, maybe just around 50 to 60% of the videos, not all of it. And what I used to do is I used to devote equal time for videos and studying and question bank. So in a day, if I would study for maybe 6 7 hours, I used to make sure I solve a good chunk of question bank for maybe 4 or maybe 3 or 4 hours. So that is really important. So, and one more thing I would like to say is when I used to solve the question banks, I used to not solve the question bank of what I studied that day itself. I used to solve it of either what I studied the previous day or like if there was a little gap before. That is really important. So when you do this, when you solve a question bank a little after you've studied, you're basically studying the topic twice. So I used to solve a good number of question banks a day, at least 10 to 12 modules every day since March. And this is important. Like Abbas Ali sir keeps saying, like the consistency was continuously important. So every day I used to solve like 10 to 12 modules, and I used to watch required videos and read notes. So yeah, my favorite videos in Marrow were radiology and medicine actually, because the way radiology videos are made is such that it's an entire revision of the entire topic. At the end of it, with all the images and animation modules, you become really confident with the topic as a whole when you finally read the radiology videos. So I used to love the radiology videos taken by Mayur sir, and also the medicine videos that Rakesh sir took were really really good for me. Like that had become more like it was a leisure. Like I used to not get tired watching Rakesh sir. So I used to see like a lot of medicine videos as much as I can. Even in my free time, I used to watch just medicine videos. So over 4 5 months, I kept doing this. I kept giving this, and towards June, I was maybe able to complete a majority of the modules, maybe 680 modules of question bank. I was able to complete, and videos maybe around 50 to 60% of the videos I was able to do. So coming to the next thing, regarding revision. So this is a very short time. So regarding revision, what I used to do primarily is every day night, like once I finished my studying and question banks for the day, really late in the night, maybe 1 hour before sleeping, I used to study one topic, like one purely conceptual topic, like one that requires like for example formulas, or in community medicine, or like the three-step rule in ophthalmology, or maybe some graphs in physiology. I just used to study those, and I used to solve one custom module of 50 questions with a random hashtag. Like some days I used to do slides, some days I used to do just aims questions. So that way, these custom modules really helped me a lot, because every day I used to solve 50 custom modules just before sleeping. And I used to not worry too much about the score I used to get in that or anything. I just used to solve it like just as a leisurely, like just before sleeping. So that really helped me a lot. Then the next thing I'd like to talk about is grant test. So maybe over the course of my entire preparation, I was able to give maybe 6 or 7 grant tests. So these, I mean, every time a test was live, I would attempt it. So this is really important. It's always good to give a test when it's live, because it show you your preparation like currently with respect to everyone else. So I used to give grant tests live every time they used to take place, and I used to also give subject-wise tests live. So thing is, even if I've prepared or not prepared, I still used to go ahead and attempt the subject-wise test, because it's really important to know where you stand. So initially, my grant test scores were not very good. I used to get a percentile of 90, 92, 93. My ranks used to be between 700 or 1000, something like that. But towards the end, I was able to towards June, I was able to break the 95 barrier, and my percentile was maybe 97, 98. And like the most recent test I gave just before the Central Institute exams, that time my score was I got a rank of 83. So that really gave me some confidence with which I went to the central exams. Now, just one more story I'd like to share with you about what happened to me with the AIMS exam. So the thing, I'd studied really hard for like 5, 6 months, but like just before the AIMS exam, like maybe 3 or 4 days before the AIMS exam, I started getting really nervous, and my confidence started like really going low. And I started every day, I used to worry about the consequences. Like that used to constantly eat my mind. Like suppose this doesn't happen, I don't think I'll get it this time, everyone has studied more than me. I used to worry about the consequences constantly. For 3 4 days before the exam, my state of mind was not good. Even the morning of the AIMS exam, I was not in a good state. So this was one mistake I made. And the second mistake I made while just before giving the AIMS exam was I'd come with a preconceived notion that I'm going to solve like maybe 194 or 200 MCQs. Like there's 200 questions, I'm going to solve 194 irrespective of difficulty, because to get into a central institute, you need to get like top. It's either all or nothing. So this was a big mistake I made. Since I went with a preconceived notion, ended up making a lot of mistakes, and that really affected my AIMS rank. So after that, when it came towards the JIPMER exam, that time I realized like all these mistakes I made. So that time I was much more relaxed, and I stopped worrying so much. And I didn't have any idea about how many questions I'm going to answer, anything like that. Absolutely nothing. I'd solved a few question papers of the previous, and I just went for the exam. So and so now this is the new trend, like for all these central institute exams, right? Their trend is entirely changing. Previously they used to focus more on the theory aspect of it, more on genes, chromosomes, and all these individual like small things which were very important. But now the trend has drastically changed. Now almost every question, they try to put it into a scenario, like a scene, and the options are usually like decisions. So you have to make decisions. So this way, I think Marrow really helps, because only when your understanding for the topic is completely thorough will you actually be able to answer those questions. It doesn't depend on how many times you've read the notes. Like that won't change your answer to the question. But the first time, if you've thoroughly like grasped the topic as a whole, then you can definitely answer these questions. So that is important. Like so, the entire pattern has changed. So I really think more than your notes and revision, doing questions is an absolute must. Like doing questions is very like I can't even begin to emphasize how important it is to do questions, because new questions are being created every day for these exams, and it's getting much and much tougher. So what Marrow is doing is absolutely perfect. Like, they spend a lot of time in teaching like these like, no teacher will ever spend this much amount of time to teach like a single topic. So that way, Marrow has really changed the entire approach to like medical education as a whole. So this is something I'd like to share, and luckily my JIPMER like went really well, because I didn't have any preconceived notion, so I ended up leaving maybe 26 questions, and so that turned out to be really good for me, because many of these exams now, they have these type of questions where there's no actual answer to it. Like, it's they put it there for you to leave it, like you've meant to leave it. So these you have to go more of your strategy shouldn't be pre-planned, it should be created at that second. That is what I'm trying to tell all of you. So this was my story regarding how I went through with this entire set of exams. And so this is what I want to tell all of you. Like, don't count yourself out. Like, if I had a bad rank in NEET and I was not happy, but I mean, I knew like everyone else was studying, and the competition out there is, I know how tough it is. So you should never count yourself out. Like, you should just believe in yourself and push yourself harder. You should push yourself to the limit. Like, you should every day break your barriers and test new boundaries every day. And if you keep doing that, and if you do that every day, like you'll definitely good things will happen to all of you. Okay. So thank you, everyone. This was my story. I'd love to hear your story in the future. And I'm okay to open to take any questions now. If anyone has any questions, I'll happily answer them. Okay, so please post your questions on YouTube. Yeah, so regarding my source, my actually Marrow is a huge source as itself. Like, if you ask, did I use different sources for different subjects? It's I did not, because Marrow itself has so much content. Covering two sources, I feel is absolutely like it'll end you'll end up in a disaster, because it's really difficult to itself cover Marrow itself. And the good thing about Marrow, what I'd like to say is, it's very well updated. Like, the information you get in Marrow is up to date. It's They change the pearls or respective question banks every day, so that like you make sure like your knowledge is exactly updated. So that really helps. So that way, I feel Marrow does definitely have an advantage over everything else. Uh, any other question? Yeah, I did see videos. I did see. Did I see all videos? No, I did not see all videos actually. I saw videos for the topics I didn't understand through notes, and that is also something personal. You're at the end of the day, the thing is, you have to be confident in every topic that you study. That is important. I can't tell you which videos I saw and which I didn't see, because it differs from person to person. Just at the end of the day, if you're confident in the subject, and you should be able to answer any question put at you through that subject. Okay, and also suggestions for people who are still in third year, fourth year, or whatever, second year, whenever you start preparing. The suggestion I have is, first start to build your basics. Like, it's definitely Marrow helps with the building your basics really well. But apart from that, you should also go ahead and read all your standard textbooks, because a time you'll never get a time to read those textbooks, and the reason they're standard textbooks is they explain everything really well. So I suggest everyone read the standard textbooks definitely, and then with that side by side Marrow, if you do, like, then you will become unstoppable. Yeah, and regarding all the three central exams now are pushing to have a similar pattern of questioning. So before, you used to see like JIPMER used to be a purely theoretical paper. PGI used to go in detail. There used to be not many questions, not many clinical scenarios. They used to take one topic and dissect it thoroughly in PGI. And AIMS used to like give like a complete googly of the question. Like they used to twist it and turn it and give. But what is happening now is like from this year especially, all three exams are going more in favor of one standard pattern of asking questions. Like all three of them go more in favor of clinical scenarios and decision making. They want to test your aptitude and your knowledge side by side. So for that, building those level of concepts, only listening to classes and learning about other people's experiences and experiencing it for yourself, either through your hospital rounds, posting, anything, that really, really makes a difference. So yeah, that's it. If anyone has any more questions or anything, feel free to connect with me on Facebook or anything. I'll happily answer. Okay. Thank you. God bless everyone.